Fox 5 News at noon starts right now.
Breaking news out of Atlanta, where police are investigating a double murder. Good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lisa Ram. Right now, police are on the scene of that double murder on Baker Road in Atlanta. Police tell us both victims were stabbed to death inside a home there. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor live at the scene of this breaking news. Right now, Gainesville police searching for a missing woman at Lake Lanier. Lizeth Ruiz disappeared last week around Lanier Point Park. Christy Hutchings with News Radio 106.7 is live at Lake Lanier. And Christy, what are police doing to find this missing woman? Atlanta police looking for a car thief who they say hit a police cruiser with a stolen car overnight. Police tell us the owner used a tracking device to locate the vehicle, then called police. The responding officer spotted the car on Fairburn Road. The thief rammed into the cruiser while speeding away. The officer was not hurt. Officers found the stolen car abandoned near Greenbrier Mall. Today, we expect to learn more about a shooting and a paired robbery last night in southeast Atlanta. Police tell us a woman and a man were rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital after they were shot at Lakewood Avenue and Jonesboro Road. No word on their conditions this afternoon or whether police have made any arrests. I bet the lakes and the swimming pools are going to be loaded with people
I bet
this
they
weekend.
will.
All right, thank you, Adam. Parts of the country are reeling from extreme weather. The National Weather Service warns more intense storms could be on the way for sections of the Great Plains. Fox's Patricia Stark has the latest. Police in New York say a Brooklyn rapper is seen on surveillance footage opening fire at a concert Wednesday night where T.I. was set to perform. The shooting at Irving Plaza injured 3 people and fatally wounded a man. Roland Collins, who goes by the stage name Troy Ave, was arrested yesterday on several charges. Family members of the man who died say he was a member of Collins's entourage. Another wild week on the campaign trail is coming to an end. Donald Trump finally getting over the delicate hump, putting to bed months of speculation about a contested GOP convention. And Hillary Clinton tries to break free of Bernie Sanders in the face of a scathing Inspector General's report. Fox's Joel Waldman has the story from Washington. Search teams in the Mediterranean Sea have picked up a beacon they believe is from Egyptair Flight 804. It crashed last Thursday with 66 people on board. The chief investigator says this narrows down the search to a 3-mile radius. Searchers have recovered some bodies and debris, but they have not found the so-called black boxes. President Obama making history today by becoming the first sitting U.S. president to visit Hiroshima, Japan, and marking the atomic bomb attack there more than 70 years ago that led to the end of the world's deadliest war. While the visit has been welcomed by some, it has also generated controversy. Fox's Doug Luzader has a story from the World War II Memorial in Washington. Oh, I am so looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be beautiful, and the pool, there's lots of jazz concerts out there to take part in. It's going to be a great weekend, right?
Yeah.
As the battle over funding to fight the Zika virus heats up on Capitol Hill, the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has offered a grim assessment of America's readiness, predicting it will be at least a year or two before we know if the Zika vaccine is actually safe and effective. Fox's Peter Ducey has more from Washington. Police say this local mother sat on her 2-year-old's head for an hour. A Fox alert on the so-called discipline that landed her child in the hospital. That's ahead.
But first tonight, a picture you will see only on Fox 5. This is the end of a Gwinnett County father's 2-year fight for his son. Fox 5 was the first to tell you about Michael Hambrick's desperate search for little Lane Hambrick back in 2015. Police issued a warrant for Lane's mother after she took their little boy and ran. Chelsea
Cullen isn't running anymore. Today, she walked into the Gwinnett County DA's office, turned herself in, and turned over their son. Fox 5's Patty Pan has our exclusive story tonight. The verdict is in, and a Baltimore police officer has been acquitted of all charges in the death of Freddie Gray. You may remember Gray is the man who died in police custody in 2015. His neck was broken while he was riding in a police transport van. Fox anchor Tom Haynes joins us now with some new information. Now to a Fox 5 News alert. Butts County deputies make 2 arrests in a weekend drive-by shooting. The suspects are Jamarius O'Neal and Christopher Walker, both 19. Shooting happened late Friday night outside a graduation party at a home in Jackson. 16-year-old Cedarius Hastings died in the shooting and 3 others were wounded. We spoke with a young woman who was Hastings' prom date. She says she's just devastated. Deputies say they expect more arrests in this case. Tonight at 8:30, a memorial for the victims will be held at Thomaston Mills Park. All right, turning now to your forecast. This is the kind of day most of us are talking about when we say perfect weather. It's warm, but the humidity is low, and the sun has been shining all day long.
So let's go right to Chief Meteorologist David Chandler in the Storm Center with our forecast.
All right, David.
So you like?
Yes,
Very
right.
nice.
Very
Thumbs up,
nice.
thumbs
Yes,
up.
indeed. Yeah, it is spectacular out there.
If you build it, will they come?
Oh, that is the question NFL owners will answer tomorrow when they decide whether to award Atlanta one of the upcoming Super Bowl games. After all, isn't that what building this brand new billion-dollar venue was all about? Well, let's take you live to Charlotte tonight, where that vote will take place tomorrow.
And Claire, if Atlanta wins, it will have been about 20 years since we hosted a Super Bowl, right? Still ahead at 6, a gunman is on the run after police say he shot and killed a co-worker. What you need to know about this violence in Clayton County, that's ahead. Mayor Reed says they weren't the right people for the job. A live report on the high-profile firings that have shaken the city, that's ahead.
Fox 5 News at noon starts right now.
After a weekend where he removed 2 top city officials, Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed talks publicly about the firings for the first time. Plus, a teen gunned down while at a graduation party in Butts County. The message loved ones have for that shooter. Good afternoon to you. I'm Lisa Rand. We are glad you're here today. First, on Fox 5 News at noon, a big shakeup in the city of Atlanta following the firings of 2 top city leaders. Late this morning, we heard from the mayor about this for the first time. For the past hour, Mayor Kasim Reed has talked with reporters about the weekend firings of Airport General Manager Miguel Southwell and Water Commissioner Joanne McCrenna. The mayor told reporters even though he's in the 4th quarter of his administration, he will keep making changes to make sure the city is performing at a top level.
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace!
Outrage in Baltimore after a police officer is found not guilty on charges in the death of Freddie Gray. A judge dismissed all charges against Officer Edward Nero. Nero was facing assault, reckless endangerment, and misconduct in the 2015 death of Gray. Nero was one of 6 officers charged in the death that sparked protests in Baltimore. Prosecutors say he unlawfully detained Gray and failed to use a seatbelt while transporting him to jail. Nero's attorneys say their client was not responsible for buckling in detainees. The other officers are set to have separate trials over the summer and into the fall. What was supposed to be a night of celebration quickly turned tragic. 16-year-old Darius Hastings was killed at a graduation party in Butts County Friday night. Hastings was an honor roll student and a new father. Now his family and friends are searching for answers. Fox 5's Caitlin Pratt has more from Griffin. We are learning new details about a suspicious package reported in Northeast Atlanta. Fire officials shut down the area around Moreland Avenue and Euclid Avenue this morning after a mailbox was found with smoke coming out. Officials say the mailbox had a radio attached to it with electrical cords wrapped around. A bomb squad unit was called in and determined the device was not a threat, but some type of artwork. Firefighters removed the device and cleared the area. All right, we're coming off a beautiful weekend, and look at the skies out there today. It's simply spectacular. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jeff Hill joining us now to take us into what looks like it's going to be a beautiful week ahead.
It's going to be a great week ahead and a warm week, too, as we start heading toward the unofficial start of summer.
Oh, wow, that's around the corner, isn't it?
Memorial Day weekend.
ISIS continues coordinated attacks in Syria and Yemen with hundreds of casualties. Meantime, the battle for Fallujah continues west of Baghdad. Fox's Connor Powell has more from Jerusalem. President Obama kicked off his week-long visit in Asia by making a controversial announcement. The president says he will lift a decades-long arms export embargo on Vietnam. The move has a number of U.S. lawmakers and human rights activists urging the president to press the communist government for greater freedoms before lifting the ban. Vietnam currently holds some 100 political prisoners.
Sales will need to still meet strict requirements, including those related to human rights.
The president also announced that for the first time since the Vietnam War, Vietnam will now invite Peace Corps volunteers to the country. Coming up, it was an emotional night. A group of police officers step in to escort the daughter of a fallen cop to her prom. Why the officers say it was their responsibility. A girl from Michigan went on a Disney vacation with her family over 2 decades ago, but was too sick to ride any of the rides. This year, she took that old ticket on a recent Florida vacation, and it got her into the park. Chelsea Herlane vacationed in Florida with her family back in 1994. She sadly got sick and was unable to enjoy their trip to the Disney theme park. Her dad kept her ticket, though, for 22 years. Look at that. The pair rediscovered it just before she was heading down to Florida, so she brought it with her.
Ticket didn't have an expiration date on it, so I thought there was a small chance they would let me in, but I didn't realize it would be that easy.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Chelsea spent the whole day riding rides and making memories. She was by herself this time, but she said it was a blast. How cool is that?
That's what makes Disney Disney.
The happiest place in the world.
Because they understand customer service.
The customer service is incredible. It really is. Good for her, though. Yeah, she was by herself, though, but she still had a blast, so that tells you a lot, too. All right, take us into the afternoon.
Let's do like a 30% chance.
Yeah, not on Memorial Day weekend, please.
But
no.
hopefully Memorial Day weekend will go as planned.
Yeah, lots of graduation. Nice. School is out. People want to jump in the pool and head to the beach, right?
To the beach.
All right. Thanks for joining us for Fox 5 News at Noon. Access Hollywood. I'm heading to the beach.
There you go.
Access Hollywood coming up next. We'll see you tonight at 5 and 6. Have a great one, everybody. Oh, and remember, Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube channel. Have a great afternoon.
Fox 5 News at Noon starts right now.
A few showers popping up across the metro area, and more could be on the way. 2 people are recovering in the hospital after being involved in a shooting. But let's go right to breaking news out of Gwinnett County. You are looking at a live picture from Sky Fox 5 of Collins Hill High School. School officials tell us the high school and nearby Walnut Grove Elementary School are on lockdown. Gwinnett County Police have just tweeted officers are searching for a car thief in the area. School system stresses this is a precaution and all students and staff are safe. We've seen a police helicopter circling the area there. We will bring you updates as soon as we receive them. Wild scene unfolds on a Southwest Atlanta roadway. People in 2 cars shot at each other. And as Fox 5's Caitlin Pratt reports, that gunfire hit 2 men. Another day of gloomy skies, and these clouds could bring storms later today. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jeff Hill joining us now to tell us all about this, sort us through all of this.
I think we'll see a few storms later on this afternoon.
A Bartow County Sheriff's deputy is in trouble with the law. The GBI arrested 31-year-old Josh Nelson yesterday on felony charges, including drug possession, sexual assault, and violation of his oath of office. A woman claims Nelson took inappropriate photos of her while she was riding in his patrol car. Nelson has been with the sheriff's office for nearly 7 years. Lawrenceville police need your help finding this man. He's accused of shooting his girlfriend. According to police, the 40-year-old got into an argument with the woman. That's when he pulled out a gun and shot her in the thigh. Then he just took off. He was last seen in a black Toyota Venza similar to this one with a Texas license plate. Lawrenceville police want him on charges of aggravated assault and cruelty to a child. They ask anyone with information to please call them. Sandy Springs Police Department didn't have to go far to find the victim of a car break-in. One of the department's own unmarked vehicles got hit by thieves who got away with some pretty serious firepower. Fox 5's Mark Teichner has more. A $20,000 reward is now being offered for information leading to the arrest of 2 armored car robbers. These are new photos from Saturday's heist along Lakewood Avenue in Southwest Atlanta. Agents say 2 gunmen stole nearly $200,000 from the Dunbar Armored Courier. Officials say the men should be considered armed and dangerous. Governor Nathan Deal has issued a statement slamming President Obama's directive on transgender bathroom policies at schools. In Deal's statement, he calls the order to allow transgender students to use a bathroom of their choice confusing and controversial. He says the directive is not law and Georgia state laws and constitution take precedence in this matter. He also promises, quote, the state school superintendent will work cooperatively to protect the interests of Georgia's children from this abuse of federal executive authority. Deal says the state superintendent will decide how to proceed and there will be, quote, uniformity across all Georgia schools.
U.S. Senate has cleared the way to approve a $1 billion program to combat the Zika virus. The measure provides about half the money President Obama requested, but it's almost twice what House leaders are prepared to authorize. The Senate proposal drew strong bipartisan support. House Republican leaders plan to call their Zika proposal to the floor as early as today. Big wins for both Democratic presidential candidates last night. We'll tell you what this means in the race to the White House. And more kids get hurt playing youth sports. Coming up, the Fox Medical team's Beth Galvin, well, she shares some ways to keep your kids from getting injured. Oregon and Kentucky may be in the books, but the fight for the Democratic nomination is far from over, as Bernie Sanders made it crystal clear once again he will battle Hillary Clinton to the bitter end. Fox's Joe Waldman has more from Washington. We want to update you now on some breaking news. School officials tell us Collins High and 5 other Gwinnett County schools are on lockdown. Gwinnett County police are searching for a car thief in the area here. School system stresses this is a precaution. All students and staff are safe. We're going to bring you updates just as soon as we have them. Storm victims along Florida's Treasure Coast were left in the dark after possible tornadoes. Homeowners in Fort Pierce are bracing for a long recovery. Forecasters still must determine if the violent storms that barreled through the community yesterday were in fact tornadoes. For those whose homes were destroyed, there is no doubt that at least one twister touched down in Fort Pierce. Homeowner Bobby Galbraith watched the storm rip the roof off the home of her 96-year-old neighbor before it destroyed Galbraith's shed. And check this out, a scientist at the Mount Washington Observatory in New Hampshire took a break to have a little fun in some incredibly strong wind there. Gusts reached 109 miles per hour at one point, knocking him off his feet again and again. Although it looks like winter, this video was shot just this week. And if you think that's crazy, this is nothing for Mount Washington. It holds the world record for the strongest wind gust ever. That one was measured at 231 miles per hour. That was back in 1934. I don't know, Jeff, what do you think? Does that look like fun?
It's a famous observatory. You know, all the weather fanatics all flock to there. You know, that's kind of like the holy grail to go up there and experience the weather on top of Mount Washington.
We see why, yes.
And he was having some fun with it.
And he called it fun.
Although it looked a little dangerous.
He
I
does.
mean, you know, it looked like he was going to get carried away by that